Hello, CP in the Philippines. Talking to my YouTube friends. How are y'all doing this morning? It is actually around lunchtime. I'm just making this video because I make daily videos. At least I'm trying. I wanted to get into a few conversations I had earlier today about different things. One, we can talk about licensing here in the Philippines for those that are staying long term. We can also talk about rentals and purchasing motorcycles or vehicles, any kind of car, truck, motorcycle, side by side, whatever. So today, I went out I purchased a motorcycle, a Lexi. It's new here in the Philippines. It's a really nice motorcycle, but I'm doing installments. Now, if you're not a resident here in the Philippines or married to a Filipino and you're just here visiting and you want a transportation, it's really easy to purchase a motorcycle here, especially for cash. You could get one, it'll be put in your name, all the paperwork will be finalized, and it's great. But if you want to do installments, you need either have your girlfriend help you get the installments or someone you know well to do installments with. And the only reason I say installments for those that are here traveling on a budget, installments are better. And installments here in the Philippines is reference to payments, doing payments each week, each month, however you want to pay it. They give you options like 3 months, 6 months, a year, and so on. Because motorcycles are fairly cheap here. It's easier to buy it outright. You don't have so much headache, and you get all your paperwork pretty quickly, depending on what company you buy from. If you buy from a little small mom and pop place that sells all the brands, it may take a little longer. If you buy from a name brand like Yamaha, Honda, those you might be a little faster. LTO was just like in America, it's called a DTO. The licensing bureau, it takes a while for it to get a plate in. So those things are all things to think about if you decide to come to the Philippines, because you're going to pay a lot to through the month. It's not a lot. I mean, but you're saying 45 pesos here, 100 pesos here, if it's you and a partner, depending on how far you go. And we have skin tax. So when you take taxis or jeepneys or trikes or Grab, or there's so many ways to get rides here. You want to download some apps to get those kind of rides. Anyways, you're still paying out. So, and it gets costly, especially if you're going to and from a lot of different places. You're paying for hotel, you're paying for different things. If you're from America, you could stay and drive on your driver's license for 90 days. After 90 days, they require you to get a transfer, which that means you bring your license from your country to the LTO and do a physical and any endorsements that you don't have. Like if you don't have motorcycle endorsements in your country, like in America, we have endorsements. And if you don't have that, they're going to require you to do the motorcycle test, the motorcycle driver's test. Great that I didn't have to do all of that. I knew someone and they helped me through all those steps. So it's like I said, it's from the previous videos. If you know people, you get to know people, make friends with people, especially, barangay captains, mayors, vice mayors, things like that. It's beneficial for you. They'll tell you the right places to go, the right people to meet, stay away from these areas, stay away from these people. If you're planning on staying long term, I'm a social butterfly. I love people and I love interacting. So those things are easy for me to do, to talk, communicate. If you come here for a woman, that's a whole different story, a whole topic of foreigners on here making stories about relationships. So if you have a partner and you do all that through your partner, it's great, but make sure you know her. And make sure when you go through whatever motorcycle company that you purchase from and you do installments, make sure they are aware and that they know that you are the buyer and that you are the payer. And establish that information up front. That way, if anything happens between you and your partner between the time you get it paid off and so on, your partner can't just take your motorcycle away because it's in her name or his name. So, reassure yourself with those things and make sure you got the same paperwork she does filled out in your name and everybody knows that this motorcycle is yours. If they're willing to work with you and talk with you and get you to sign, it's great. Anyways, so that's some of the processes of getting a motorcycle. It's really easy. I mean, you pay. They got the Lexis are pretty cheap here. They're reliable. They're smooth riding. The seats, the seats are wide, so in long journeys, it's really comfortable. Don't hurt your butt so much. So I like it. It has 155 cc's. It's not for off-roading now. No, it's not for off-roading. But, it's got the power, the agility to maneuver really easily. It's lightweight. It doesn't weigh much. You just got to get used to straddling pretty wide because that thing is pretty wide. I have Aerox that I like when I got it. It's a big motorcycle. It rides great. It's a second hand. You can buy also second hand, but you really don't know what you're buying when you buy second hand. You don't know how much they abused it. You don't know if they did the oil change correctly. Like me, I went and put new brakes front and back. I put new throttle cable, new brake cable, because all of that didn't have rear brakes. So all I had was front brakes. So the lights were out in the back, so when you press brakes, it didn't signal nobody. So there's a lot of things when you buy secondhand. Buy brand new when you get here. Spend that money. You'll save in the long run. Go ahead and get you a motorcycle. Encounter different Yamahas, different companies. Look at not just one brand. There's several brands here that are cheaper that you can get pretty cheap. I talked to a guy that bought a 160cc motorcycle that looks like an NMAX, and that's a big motorcycle. And he only paid 70,000 pesos, which is equivalent to probably 700 USD. And that's a brand new motorcycle. So just do some research before you purchase. Don't just say, I want this, and that's what you get. Because if you're only here temporary and short term, you buy a motorcycle, you end up staying here 3 or 4 months, it's beneficial. If you're just here for a month, don't waste your time. It's good to have a means of transportation, especially for yourself, because when you want to get up and go, you don't have to search for a trike. A lot of times at night, there's hardly any motorcycles available. If you're in province area, you're definitely less likely to get taken anywhere. So if you have an emergency, it's going to take a long time for someone to get to you. So it's good to have a good means of transportation. And that was one of the things that I learned coming to the Philippines is, try to buy you a motorcycle as soon as you can. Within 2 months of being here, I already had my Filipino driver's license and a motorcycle. So even though my first motorcycle was secondhand, it's a starter. It's a big motorcycle, and I'm not a little guy. I'm a big guy. I'm not tall, but I'm wide. So it's nice to know these things, to come in and have a little more heads up. And now, look, you're watching this video. If you're watching this video, this is a raw, uncut video. So I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know much about this. I've done a few videos that I watched through YouTube to help me establish a foundation. And so I'm not a YouTuber, but I like to express myself. I want to get back into fishing. I fish a lot. I have several videos of me fishing, but I'm in a new area, so I don't know anybody that has boats and so on. I'm in San Carlos. I was in Batangas, which is south of Manila at one time. Now I'm in San Carlos Negros, which is not far from Dumaguete, and not far. Matter of fact, I can see Cebu from where I'm at. So the island of Cebu area is right across the way, and you just take a ferry and go. So I'm making these journeys and these experiences, my own. Everybody that comes here is going to have their own experiences. You're going to have your own ways of negotiations. You're going to have your own ways of purchasing, buying, and seeking after what you like and what you don't like. Just be careful. There's a lot of people that are willing to help. Be careful who you speak with, what you talk about. It's a nice thing to have people that you can rely on and have full confidence in to help you through your journey, especially if you're planning to stay long term. And the Filipino people that I've ran into, not all now, has taken me in as their own and says, don't go nowhere if you don't tell us. If you go out of town, where you at, just contact us all the time. So I got friends in Batangas that I message and tell them, hey, look, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. Look, I hope you have fun. So we stay in communication. I don't speak with too much of my family in the U.S. So I stay to myself a lot. This YouTube thing is something to express my ideas of how I live here and what I experience. It's and I'm a very open, honest person. Being able to speak to a camera, not to people, is a lot easier to reveal more stuff. But I'm touching on subjects that I've experienced since I've been here. You can own a house, and you can't own land, but you can purchase a lease for a house that could be yours potentially. The house can, but the land can't. So you would find someone that has land and say, hey, look, can I sign a 5 or 10 year lease with you to utilize your land to build a home on? Now, in the end results, that person that you built the land on will end up with the home, but you're getting a legit documentation. There are ways you can rent. It's the best way to do it. If you get married, you can buy, but you can't own land. You can own a condo in a building that has multiple condos, but it has to be 60% occupied by Filipinos to own that condo. You can own a motorcycle and a car. So those things you can own. You can get possession of. You can control ownership. So it's different ways of doing things here, and I'm kind of bouncing all over, but I'm just kind of giving an idea of what future videos might be containing. more details, more in-depth situations. But for those that are first coming here, I've been here almost a year. I got 2 months to begin a year. And, I've lived really comfortable. I understand people say, oh, with 600 USD, you're just surviving. But again, those are the guys that like to go out partying, drinking out bars all the time, chasing women all the time. If you're a chilled and relaxed person like me, I don't smoke, I don't drink. So those things are not something I'm too interested in. Now, I like hanging out with people, and I'll go hang out with people at the bar and stuff. But a Coke here, a Coke there, water, something like that's what I drink. So my budget is based on things I like and what I am interested in doing. I love to fish, so I have a huge budget for fishing. And here they do a lot of line fishing, not much rod fishing, so you don't spend as much as you do in the States when you fish. You just got to learn the Filipino way. You get on a boat, you drop that line just beside you, and when you feel something, you jerk. That's it. A lot of the fish that you collect here and catch here, even on hand string, is fairly small. I mean, they can get as big as my arm, but or as big as my leg, but they don't really fight. They're more of coral fish than they are, like reds, snapper, all of that. Grouper, you catch grouper here, but they're, again, because they overfish here, it's smaller versions of the grouper. And everything's small. But, there's a lot of scenic drives that you can do. There's a lot that you can do here that I enjoy. Now, gas here is kind of expensive compared to the States, because it is islands that you are on, but relatively cheap for us foreigners based on the Filipino. You get on a trike and he's got a little water bottle full of gasoline they just filled up that he put like 20 pesos in. They penny pinch, so it's pretty crazy how they just put like 20-30 pesos of gas, or 100 pesos of gas, which is $1 of gas, in the motorcycles, and it goes a long way. So, but there's so much to do here. Like me, I told you I don't drink. I have since I've been here, but I get sick for 3 or 4 days if I have a few drinks. So, I'm sorry. I'm sitting in my hotel room just acting like I'm at home. So, I should be a little more professional. But, I'm just trying to get y'all on my end of where I stand here in the Philippines. And I'll probably, if this video gets out there, have a lot of comments of, their way of. And again, this is what I experienced since I've been here. This is what I've been going through. This is what I've done, like the LTO situation. A lot of people's going to spend, a lot of money. Like Filipino people spend like 10,000 pesos just to get their driver's license. But they don't have one. They don't have one coming from another country. Which, if you drove around here or even rode around here, you realize, like, they really have driver's license here? Why? Because they don't follow the laws. But again, you're a foreigner, skin tax. You have to be careful. So do the right things, go through the right channels. When you get a driver's license here converted over from your country to the Philippines, they have brokers, people that actually go out and help you get a license. But you got to be careful with those. They're not always legit, and they kind of frown on those when you go through an agency. Agency is what it's called. But to get your driver's license, it's really easy. Just go to LTO, bring your passport, copy of everything. You need photocopies of everything. So your passport, your U.S. or your foreign driver's license, your visa, your ACR card. You need copies of all of that, photocopies of everything. So Those are what you need. And like I said, I think with the physical, I had to do 2 physicals because I had to come back because I forgot some paperwork. So I did 1 physical for the driver's license and the other physical for the driving test because I had to do a test on motorcycles here in the Philippines. So I had to get that endorsement put on my driver's license. I was able to convert over to my driver's license and I actually got the driver's license, but legally all I could drive was 4-wheel, anything with 4 wheels, anything like big trucks, little trucks, uh, vans. I could haul you around on a van, but I wasn't able to drive a motorcycle, and that's what I had was a motorcycle. So it's good to have those endorsements already from your country, or I really don't understand the uh, what you have to have on your license because I have a commercial license from the U.S. So I guess that's why I can drive those other vehicles. So, but not a motorcycle. So it's just come here and enjoy yourself. I need to start writing some of this down so I can stay on topic. But the motorcycle and the driver's license is a big thing. Just if you stay here longer than 3 months, in certain areas, they will not mess with you. And when they see a foreigner, they usually just let you go through. But they are some of those rural areas and those crooked areas that you'll run into a police officer or highway person that might give you a hard time. So it's better to be prepared than non-prepared. So like today I went and got I tried to get my tag, but they said it still wasn't in. It won't be in until next Friday. So, or potentially not even then, but it is the Philippines. Things are slow going. So, in the U.S., I buy a car and boom, I got a plate that same day. Depends on where you go. So, here it doesn't work like that. You know, but just get here and enjoy yourself. But try to look at purchasing a car just on the simple facts that having that transportation is going to help you in the long run. Also, if you want to go from island to island, they got these amazing ships called to-go ships. Go. And they actually haul cargo for you, like cars, motorcycles, and other things. And you got ferries that go through the islands that are closer. But I went from Manila Island to Negro Island, so that was a longer route. So I took the to-go. I mean, I probably could jump from ferry to ferry, but I had a destination I wanted to get to. Other YouTubers I wanted to meet, other people I wanted to introduce. That's why I did what I did. There is many ways to transport you in your motorcycle or you in your car. It's 1,000 pesos, 2,000. Like for me to go for the to-go ship from Manila to Bacolod, Negros. It costs 7,000 pesos, which is a little over $100, and that took me 24 hours to get here on a ship. But if I had a motorcycle, I would have brought. I mean, I do have a motorcycle, but I didn't know at the time that they did the transportation with that as well. So I would have took my motorcycle, brought me here, which would have been a lot better. A lot better. So each time that you travel and you want to go between islands, that's a great way to do it. These ferries and to-go ships. The to-go ships, they got different, like, whole bunkhouses where 100 people are in one room, or you got even the luxury where it's just one bed. You can get a suite and which is a lot better. Spurge for that. It's an extra. The 7,000 was mine for a private room with bunk beds for four, and that's why it was 7,000. But you can spurge and spend about 10,000 pesos and get you a private room, and you get private meals, and it's just a better deal, a better setup. Private restroom. Here in the Philippines, I got on CRs, so there's just perks of doing it that way. But we'll get into other details further in as I make more videos. But today I made this one trying to go over some stuff that I went through today about the LTO and getting a plate for your motorcycle and so on. So if you come across my page and you enjoy the videos, like and share and give feedback. Let me know if I ramble on too much, if there's a subject you want to know since I've been here, what I've learned. Like I said, everybody has their own experiences and they go through all their own stuff. I'm a type of person, when I did come here, I did spend a lot of money when I first got here on some stuff, and it wasn't worth it. And people are, each to their own. Just come here and be alert, be aware, and make plenty of friends, and be careful with who you make friends with as well. So the province areas are really nice to have good friends in, a little more honest people. So, but also a little more crooked. I guess it depends on where you go and who you meet. So, yeah. I'm going to cut the video. It's already been 25 minutes. And until next time.